Hey, this is Maginoni, and here's a different type of video today. Now, there were too many good books this week, and I thought it was a little disservice to actually just do one good out of the good, the bad, disappointing. So we're gonna do something different. This is called The Good, The Better, and my gosh, I forgot this came out this week. All right, let's take a look at The Good, and that is Miss Marvel number 7. Now, my main disclaimer here is this: there were other really good books, but I really enjoyed this issue a lot. Right from the very beginning, I hit page 2, and I totally fell in love with the whole science fair thing. It was really funny, just looking at everything that was going on inside the fair. Looking at everybody's side projects, and basically what was going on here is this: there's a big contest, and the winning team, was going to get scholarship. So you have Miss Marvel's team; they're trying to get a scholarship. Miles shows up, and he's trying to get a scholarship, and they all have crazy projects. With Miss Marvel's team, what they have is basically a shark in a bubble, and it's just supposed to be this thing where it's to help the animals when they're getting basically slaughtered, and their space is basically getting taken away because of the oil in the water, stuff like that. They're living in unhealthy environments. So what they did was they created this bubble, and there's a shark inside there, so the shark can actually live. And then they're saying, well, we can't do this. We can't really do this one because I think it was New Jersey or some other state was going to complain because they're going to say that it was they were being unethical with the animal, a harsh treatment. And they're like, how can that be? This is a happy shark, and it's everywhere you see the shark's smiling. From there, it's a case of one-upsmanship, and disaster happens. And then even after the disaster hits, it's Miles and Kamala both get into costume really quick, and then Nova shows up, and they all meet each other, and they're all at that moment where just one person could say the wrong thing and blow everybody's cover, and it was all well and good. I mean, this was just a really great issue. The story was good, lots of humor, art was good, everything I would have wanted in a comic book this week. It hit everything, and I was really pleased with it. Very good team up issue, and overall this was a fantastically fun read. Now the better. That is going to Afterlife with Archie. And I know you guys are going, what the heck? This is Afterlife. This is Archie we're talking about. This issue was fantastic. Basically, what we have is the first 8 issues. You have Archie and the gang. They're on the run from the zombies. This issue is all about Reggie, and this is basically Reggie comparing himself to Archie. It's how Archie gets everything. He gets the girls because he's nice. He does things for he works with the parents. He does things. People like him, but when they see Reggie, and Reggie just doesn't get that love. Even Reggie concocts this story in his head where it's I went and I was walking, I found a barn, I found horse, I brought the horses back, and everybody was saying, great job, you're going to possibly save our life by doing this. We can use these horses in so many different ways. And he's like, well, that would have been great if I was the one that brought it back, but the reality is Archie brought it back. And so you can just see he's just this guy who's on, he's got issues. I'll just word it that way. And it just it goes into these issues afterwards from that point on. And the ending was just amazing. I won't spoil it, but I will say this: it actually shows a little bit more about the zombie invasion, and it's this is like a kind of like a game changing type issue, in that the comic was going a certain way, and then all of a sudden, boom, this happens. Fantastic read. I mean, the art's fantastic. The story was great. Everything about this book was like, again, this is one of those things where it's like, what more could I have wanted? And there really was absolutely nothing more that I could have wanted in this book. I highly recommend picking this up. Just, I understand, we're 9 issues in, but buy the trade and go forth from there. Fantastic read. Then we get to I can't believe I forgot this issue came out this week. And that is Rebirth. Now, I read Rebirth #1 first. And I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. This is a good start, in the sense where it's like, it's establishing, okay, there is a problem. There's a problem on multiple fronts. And they kind of explain why there's that gap. Like, we as readers know the gap in history, and why there's no JSA, and how come you don't have the the heroes that are, like the kid heroes, where you had Batman, Robin, Nightwing. You don't have any of that stuff. And we all know that it's because DC basically said, F you guys, we don't care that you want this stuff. We're going to say these are all new heroes. They're about 5 years in when you first see them. And we want them all young and fresh. And we will force things in where we can. Which makes things inconsistent. Like, for example, Red Robin. Actually, look at Batman and Robin. It's like Batman was only around for 5 years approximately, but yet has a long history with Nightwing. He has a long history with Damian. He's got a long history with Jason Todd. He's got a long history with Red Robin. How is this possible? Did he have all of these Robins at one time, or was this over time? If it's over time, was it like, okay, Dick Grayson, you were there for a year, then you went your way, then okay, now we had Jason Todd. It would have been a revolving door of characters. And it's like, this is ridiculous. It's like, and as readers of DC, we knew this was going on. And it's kind of like, when you read the stories, nothing made sense. It's kind of like you automatically start resisting what you're reading. And so they basically explain all that. It's basically, what's going on is, I don't want to spoil too much into this, even though I know a lot is already spoiled. But basically, what happened was, when Barry did the Flashpoint thing, he fixed it. The world was coming back, but somebody stepped in as it was coming back, and this is the lamest thing. They stole stories. That's what they said. He stole stories. And that's how come people don't know things. I mean, you should have said something like, he just stole history, instead of stories. But they're trying to get us to make it more comic-y. But so Wally West comes back, and he's going around to everybody who knows him. And because if he can find one person to remember him, then he can stay in this world, and he can start the process of going, hey, there's a problem here. There's things you don't remember, and you need to start remembering. So as people will start to remember things, then the lost stories will come back into place. And they even show part of what happened to the JSA. I mean, it's like it's only a couple pages, but from that you can grasp, okay, I get what's going on here. At least with the other members. Now, as Wally's going through the DC new universe, trying to find people to remember him, you get little bits and pieces, like there's Ted Kord with the new Blue Beetle. You have a girl with the Legion flight ring who wants to see Superman. There's a whole thing on Superman. There's, they're just doing all these little, like basically 2 or 3 pages of various different characters. And, obviously all of this is planting the seeds for the Rebirth #1 issues. So, okay, is this a good read? Look, it's not. It's a decent read overall. In my opinion, though, it's very repetitive in the sense that it's like, here comes here comes Wally. Okay, he's gone. Here he comes back again. Okay, he's gone again. Here's Wally again, and so that part was getting kind of tiring. There's other parts of this which kind of all these extra little things. I'm going, okay, the thing about the atom was interesting. The thing with Ted Cord, I'm like 50-50 on, it. So some of those side stuff was hit and miss with me. But overall, I didn't think that this was a book that, like a lot of people are just going to automatically stamp it with 10 out of 10. And I definitely don't think that it's a 10 out of 10 book. Because after I got done reading it, the very next thing I read was the Scooby book, which was actually really good. And then I read Miss Marvel after that. And then I was already forgetting about reading this book on page 2 because I was so focused on the science fair and I was looking at all the different science exhibits or projects that actually intrigued me a lot more, captured my attention than what was going on in these 80 pages. Now, the very ending though is it's gonna be very polarizing. I think some people are going to be, okay, that's cool, it makes sense, I can live with that. And I think other people are going to be like, that's really stupid. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards that's kind of stupid, but I can see what DC's trying to do with it. And what really, I think I could accept it more if I didn't see what they're leading towards. It's basically going to be DC Universe versus another universe. And what doesn't make sense is that other universe could just wipe out everything. Without trying. They can just go poof and everything is gone. So it's kind of like, why are we even fighting this battle here? It doesn't make sense to me. There's also a thing with the Jokers, which I was just like going, this is so stupid. I'm like, really? It's like, I know you're trying to be creative and all, but it's really stupid. And I just don't have words other than I was not a fan of that. Oh, and the Wally thing is also going to cause controversy as well. I don't know how fans are going to basically just give in to that with the way they're going to describe why there's 2 Kid Flashes. But I don't know, I will say this, he's taking some chances. It's not a horrible read by all means. It's 80 pages, so it is kind of like exhausting by the time you're done. But it's I think it's a decent start. And I can give them the benefit of the doubt of that. It's a decent start. We're off to, something interesting that could potentially come out. But at the same time, I'm just like, oh, why did you have to make certain decisions just to be controversial type thing? There's other ways you could have done that didn't have to be polarizing, I guess. Anyways, that is my the good, the better, and I can't believe I forgot it came out this week. If you have, let me know what you guys thought was your good books. Your good, actually, heck, let me know what your bad book of the week was. We'll have some more videos and reviews later. Like and share, and until next time.